The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You've heard about the essential qualities of iodine when it comes to your well-being, and you've read the opinions of top experts regarding this good member of the halogen family. Still, reports indicate that iodine is absent in sufficient amounts from the daily lives of countless people worldwide. Now, our extra-strength new nascent iodine formula is here, Survival Shield X2, leading the way into the next generation of super high-quality nascent iodine. InfoWars Life Survival Shield X2 is derived from 200+ million-year-old salt solutions found more than 7,000 feet below the Earth's surface. The result is a unique nascent iodine that is both concentrated and free of unwanted additives, genetically modified ingredients, and completely vegan. We even pre-screen our Survival Shield X2 iodine for radiation. Pure, clean, and sourced from deep within the Earth, X2 nascent iodine is available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or call 1-888-253-3139.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
DNA Force.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in.
DNA Force.
No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies.
DNA Force.
We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
DNA Force.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Dow Jones is only down 226 points now, bouncing back 25 points or so. The whole thing is a giant Tower of Babel with overinflated dollars driving it upwards. The stock market's not up, ladies and gentlemen, in the last decade. Technically it is, but not in reality. The dollar has been devalued. I mean, I'll get a couple bagels with, cheese and egg on them and a couple coffees, and it's like $25. Just a year ago, it'd be like $10, and that was too much. I mean, inflation is just crazy right now. And they're going, no, inflation's at 6 or 7%, and that's considered high. No, it's more like, in fact, I think they officially say it's like 3%. They claim unemployment's like 8%. It's more like 22%. Shadow Stats has all that. All they use at Shadow Stats with John Williams is the same system they used up until Reagan left office, that they used for decades before that to calculate unemployment and inflation. But enough of that. I'm already digressing. Some good news here. Some very good news. Attorney General Eric Holder, the Washington Times is reporting that the contempt of Congress case against him will continue. Remember when he used to threaten members of Congress just 6 months ago, saying you better watch it? A federal judge earlier this week ruled that the Justice Department will have to begin submitting documents next month. Uh-oh. It turns out Lois Lerner did destroy the emails, and they were actually saved. Remember all that? We'll have to start submitting documents next month related to the botched. It wasn't botched. It was botched because it got found out. Fast and Furious gun operation in a case brought by Judicial Watch. Man, Judicial Watch just does so much good bipartisan work. I know they're more conservative, but they go after Republicans, too. I'm not part of Judicial Watch. I'm just saying they are really awesome. I don't think it's any coincidence he's resigning as the courts are ruling that Fast and Furious information has to be released, said Fenton to the Washington Times. We've had Fenton on before. We need to get him back on. The Justice Department turned over documents related to the operation, but has refused to release documents showing the department's own handling after a top official sent a letter saying agents never knowingly allowed guns to walk, even though we have all the witnesses that they were ordered to do that. The department later had to officially retract that claim. The Obama administration said it would not prosecute Mr. Holder because he runs it, because of a long-standing policy that it not pursue contempt cases against individuals, and the White House has made a claim of executive privilege. The dirty secret was Obama swooped in and in an unprecedented way asserted executive privilege over the documents, which the Justice Department used as an excuse to not prosecute him. What an oxymoron. We can't prosecute ourselves because we can't prosecute. After he leaves office, the fight over the documents will continue, but Mr. Holder himself is likely to be safe from any fallout, analysts said. Well, yeah, because the system's so corrupt. They'd rather go harass innocent people all day. Well, the border's wide open. Let's go ahead and go to your phone calls. Thanks for holding, Brian. I thought the guest was at the bottom of the hour. The guest was at the first of the hour. My bad. And so that's why everybody had to hold. Brian, go ahead. You're on the air.
This is Sergeant Joker, Northern California State Militia.
Yeah, your phone's breaking up a little bit. Try to talk right in it for me.
All right. So, I mean, I think the stock market's worse because you can indict Holder. You can arrest him. The stock market can't be stopped. Once that starts, it's over.
That's right. And when it's fiat run, it can just balloon and balloon until it pops on its own potentially. Or perhaps it's so rigged it'll never pop. Still, as the real economy dies due to overregulation and inflation, all that's left is this fiat monster. But then the inflation inherent in it will start manifesting in the economy. I mean, what's your gut tell you, or just your everyday dead reckoning, how bad is inflation in California? Because it's off the chart in Texas and other areas. I haven't been to California in a few years.
I live in San Jose. I live in the Silicon Valley. The inflation is ridiculous. $2,800 for a two-bedroom apartment here. Nobody can afford the houses. Every third shop is closed. It's getting bad. And this is the third biggest economy in the world, Silicon Valley, and it's that bad here.
You're the supposed engine of California, that and farming, and they're cutting the water off of the farmers for invasive species fish. They are harassing everybody with more regulations and bureaucracy, running everybody out of the state who actually wants to open a business or keep a business there. And the jobs are going to China and India. Nothing against China and India, but it's so low paying there, they've got studies showing it's not even helping the Chinese or the Indians.
I mean, right. You know, I mean, and you got NAFTA and GATT and all these new trade things that are basically going to go ahead and deindustrialize the rest of the nation. And once you deindustrialize, that's it.
And that's what MIT said this year. They said, oh, my gosh, we've sent all our secrets overseas. We can't get it back. Well, I thought we were going to be super high-tech in service and all those factory jobs and all. We don't need that. Why, our young people can learn to flip burgers. And now they're closing McDonald's all across the country. Now the service economy is contracting. And if you've got a corporate job or a government job or some kind of stock market-related job, you're okay for now. But the numbers all show it going down, down, down as the baby boomers retire. And right on time, I appreciate your call, Brian, great points. Right on time, they're going, you know what, we need to kill old people. We need to have death panels. You bet we're not going to take care of you. You're lazy, you work your whole life. We're going to take those pension funds over to protect them. Let me give you a news flash. You're not going to get your government pension. You're not going to get your state pension. You're not going to get your private pension. You're not going to get most of it. They're going to take it over and federalize it to keep it safe during the stock market crash, and then they'll take 30-40% of it, and they'll take another 30-40% in inflation, and by the time you get it, it'll be a pittance of what you had before. All these people say, Alex, I'm going with the system, even though it's corrupt. We got to prop it up. The system is designed to implode. People should get their pension funds. Because in the aggregate, even though some of them are overblown in fiat, most of the taxes aren't going to pay for those, public and private stuff. It's going signed on to derivatives. See, the globalists want us artificially poor, so they create this black hole of derivatives and then feed all the extra money into that. Every time the economy starts racing, they up taxes to, quote, cool it down. You know that term the Federal Reserve would use, Bernanke would use, but the guy that really used it was Greenspan. Oh, we're growing at 5%. It'll overheat. Let's turn it down. Overheating economy is 15 points. If you go back 100 years ago, they saw that as economy growing dangerously fast. 15% a year. 10% was their average until 1913. You're either growing or you're dying. Let's go back to the phone calls. Tim in Virginia. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, brother.
It's an honor to talk to you, Alex. Been listening to your show for like 3 years, and I just wanted to run a little idea conjured up over the past 9/11 anniversary. Just popped into my head, like, what would I do? What would the American people do that truly care about this country do if another situation like that happened? Just saying, well, I'm from York, Pennsylvania, which is like 4 hours away. So I just like to think that I would just hop in my car and run right up to, say, the same situation. I was only 15 years old when it happened, and it's just like something I wanted to run by you and get your thoughts on.
Sure, your radio's echoing a little bit. Are you saying what will happen if there's another 9/11?
No, I'm saying, like,
or Sandy Hook?
What would somebody do, like yourself or me, somebody that really cares about this country, do? And I'm saying I would jump right in my car, run up to help these people.
Help them if what?
If another situation, have false flag situation were to happen.
Well, that's one reason they don't want to stage big open false flags and would rather let real Al-Qaeda in under the name ISIS or any of these new names they're giving them, IS, ISIL, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them. They're actually trying to wind up, they call it a wind-up toy, real terrorists so they don't get caught staging another Fast and Furious or another Sandy Hook. Boston bombing, they got caught with their pants down. So over and over again, it's the same story now. And they get all the cops under peer pressure in their armored vehicles, wound up, let's go find the other Zarnev brother, let's shoot him up in the boat so there's no witnesses. You know, kill them traitors, kill them. Just like they burned up Dorner out in California. And I get from their perspective why they burned him up. He probably would have sat on death row for 30 years. But don't sit there and say on tape we're going to burn him up and then lie and say they didn't burn him up. I mean, it just... who knows, though, then if Dorner really did it? Sure, the cops that burned him up thought they were killing the cop killer. But who knows anymore? I mean, that's the thing, is that you really can't believe any of this. We had Haskell and his wife, both lawyers, Kurt Haskell, on the plane, what was it, 5 Christmases ago, the underwear bomber, 4 Christmases ago, I forget, was it 4 or 5? Right as they roll out the naked body scanners the week before, this drugged up guy gets put on the plane, a firecracker goes off in his underwear, and it's supposedly the end of the world. Yeah, it was back in 2012. No, it was more than that. It was more than 2 years ago, guys. That's just Kurt Haskell going public, exposing it in the trial. But listen, let's just digress. You can look up underwear bombing. I'll give you the date. I forget. 2010? Yeah, but we'll look it up. Are you on air when you're talking to the mic?
No, sir, I was just whispering in here.
I really want you to get... I really... No, you're doing a great job. It's just that you make a lot of good points, CJ, and so that's why when you can, I want you to be on the air.
Yes, sir.
I know it's a weird habit to break, nobody ever being on air in there. By the way, are we putting mics in the new studio so the control room can talk?
Yeah, we'll have a round table.
I think we're going to have some shows to break folks in where the whole show is a bunch of the crew and we have discussions as guests just to get everybody used to it, because I think that's what's going to happen. We've got to... get you guys baptized by fire. They have another word for it, but I'm not going to say it on air. But someday, CJ, you'll be on air so much that you actually almost start falling asleep while you're ranting, like I am right now.